but I'll take those great adjectives. So I just want to share what's in my lap. Can everybody see my little rescue kitty? This is the first few times that she's actually sat on my lap since I rescued her. So I'm not going to disrupt her, but otherwise she's obnoxious. So first off, welcome everybody. It is so nice to see faces, and I'm excited to be here. Now, one of the things I want to let you know is we got some fabulous questions last night, and I'm going to be the first one to say if I can't answer a question, but I will be the first one to email SIA. And I did, and I'll go over those questions with you because I actually found an answer to one myself that I had asked the same question last year, and I'd saved the email. So I can't remember anything, but at least I remembered to save the email. So, Governor Christie, if you would share the PowerPoint, please. All righty. So we're going to talk about the Live Your Dream portal. I know some of you are pretty comfortable with it. Others may be new to it. It's been around for 2 years, but a lot of us on this call were not born into IT stuff. I hear that from some of the youngster nurses in the ER when I go down to get patients, and they're just complaining about this change or that change. And then I remind them that when I was in the ER, we didn't have computers, and they look at me like, you know, I'm from the Stone Age. So I guess I am. All right, next slide, please. And please, if you have any questions, you can feel free to put them in the chat. I'm actually not going to look at that because I get very distracted if I do, and then I lose track of where I'm at. So you might be wondering, especially some of you veteran Live Your Dream folks, why we went to this new process. And you all know that it's a cornerstone program for us. And we just, one, don't want you guys working harder than you should. We also don't want the applicants to get so frustrated that they don't apply. And we have found over the last 2 years that we have served more women. Obviously, as a lot of you know, most of, oh, thanks, Karen. Most of, oh, I said I wouldn't read it. Okay, I got to quit doing that. Most of our women are younger, and so they are more IT established. And so this process seems to be much easier for them. Most of you know this, but the portal opened on August 1st. I can't believe we're in our 2nd year. And it will close on November 15th. That will come up quickly. All right, next slide, please. So I just want to go over a few things. I'm not going to go into huge depth about the entire process, but I want to basically get you guys started. And of course, get hold of me, get hold of your district rep for any questions. I will tell you that SIA, as much as I drove them crazy last year, I'm sure with all my questions, were wonderful and quick to get back. So they are very receptive when we are having issues or we have questions. So what's changed? And this is for the applicants first. So you guys know, eligibility was a huge issue in the old days. And now we have a checklist, and it won't, that application can't go, you know, more forward until that has filled out. So once they fill that out, then they can continue on. A lot of our applicants didn't have Adobe Reader and writable PDFs, which to some degree I love. Our applicants just had a rough time with that. And then, oh, okay, portal dates, August 1 through November 15th. I guess I am reading them. This online form is much easier for our applicants. And when they have been checked about what they thought about this, they felt very comfortable going through that. So the more that we have happy applicants, the more hopefully we'll get more applicants. There are no blank text fields. What is required is on the form, and they can't go forward until they filled it in. Incomplete application, same thing. You have to complete it as an applicant to have it submitted. And this makes it easier. They can save it if they're not finished. It's not going to go away if they have to leave in the middle or they've got to go find some information, but they cannot submit it until it's complete. The other issue that many applicants got very frustrated with were the references. In the old days or the before, they had to have those references with them and submit it with their application. Now that can be submitted separately. What the applicant has to do, though, is give email addresses for who they want those references from. And then an email gets sent to those folks so they can send in a reference. If it's necessary and there is absolutely no way for someone to do it online, they still can. There's the option to do a handwritten one. But think about all the ways we could help those applicants do it online, whether it is possibly, helping them do it with your laptop or your computer or the library. There are other options, and it may be a great way to, meet them and help them. Even if they don't win, now they have a connection to you. They used to have an issue with submitting to more than one club. And right now they put in a zip code and it can only go to one club. Now, a question that came up last night, and I haven't gotten an answer yet, but if anybody on this call knows the answer, please let me know. And the question was, what happens if two clubs have the same zip code? Who's going to get it? I thought that was a fabulous question. I did email it in. I did send my questions in a little late. All heck broke loose at work, and so I didn't submit my questions till about 1. And obviously they're in DC, so they might have actually, been gone by the time they got it, but I'm sure I'll hear answers in the morning. So 99% of the time they'll put their zip code in and a club will come up, and that is where the application is going to go. In the old days, they had to make a photocopy to keep their application in their records. Now they just download it. So it's so much easier for the applicants. All right, next slide, please. All right, super important stuff for you guys, especially the club chairs. Obviously, we want everyone to have this information, but it's really, excuse me, for the club chairs. So before, you kind of go back to what the applicants have, what's changed for them. Same thing for you guys. You are going to have applications that have everything filled in. So there won't be any blank fields. You're not going to have an application with anything missing. It will be complete. It cannot, and I repeat, it cannot be submitted unless it's complete. You're not going to have have these applications sent to your own email. They'll be in the portal. You can download them from the portal. I'll go over that. But it's one place for all the chairs to go into and see their applications. And of course, again, there was a lot of confusion as to who would send what to where. Now, again, applications go to only one club. And again, when I get the answer about, if a club has more than one club has the same zip, who's going to get it, I will make sure I pass that on. All right, next slide, please. All right, now I know this portal isn't absolutely new, but it could be new for some of you who haven't used it before, or even if you did it last year. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm kind of having to train myself again, because when I quit using something, it just goes out of the brain. So we're going to go through this so that you can kind of see how this works. So next slide. Can you go back one, please? There should be one who is your Live Your Dream Club chair, or I might have missed that. Well, I'll keep going and
you're muted, Governor.
you can go back one, please. Go ahead to who is your Live Your Dream Club chair, please, unless it's acting up.
It's acting up. I can't get
Okay.
back there.
That's okay. I'll keep going until we get to this. So something that's extremely important is knowing who your club chair is. There can only be, excuse me, there can only be one person that signs into the portal from each club. I think I never talked before. Those of you who know me know that's not true. Excuse me. So you have to figure out who your club chair is going to be. And then hopefully you've already sent that information into SIA. If you haven't, we are, as the district reps and myself, have gotten a list of everything SIA has when it comes to club chairs. If that information is correct, great. But if it's not, we need to have that information updated. And that information has to be updated in SIA, because once they know who a club rep is, they are going to send an email to that person, because only, again, one person can access that portal. And so they are going to get an email, a welcome email. And many of you got that in July. If you have not gotten it and you're the club chair, or you haven't designated one, please let us know. It's very, very important that we know who the club chair is and SIA does. So you get your welcome letter, the email that comes in, and it's going to have a title. The sender's name is Live Your Dream Awards, so you know where it's coming from. And the subject line is Welcome to Live Your Dream Awards. And so you know that that's your Live Your Dream email. And it's going to instruct you as to how to create a password so that you can make your account. And there's an area that says click here. And when you click there, it's going to get you going and you get your access into that portal. And then you'll be able to come and go from that portal from then on. But I can't stress enough, every club needs to have a chair, and SIA needs to know that information. We did hear from a couple clubs that hadn't made that decision yet. Please do as soon as you can. And if we can help in any way, let me know. So once you get into the portal, the first thing you have to do is start the confidentiality agreement and sign it. Now, technically, you're not supposed to be allowed to go any further until that is done. I know last year, for whatever reason, folks got past it. And so then the portals had to be shut down and kind of restarted. So please do the confidentiality agreement. You guys and us are dealing with a lot of private information. We also, find out so much about these women, and we have got to make sure we're keeping it private. So you've got to sign this confidentiality agreement, and then you're going to be able to go forward. It's just really, really important. So, when this page comes up, hit that start button and you can get that confidentiality agreement signed. All right, next page. All right. So now you've signed that confidentiality agreement and you're able to go forward. And you'll notice on this page that it tells you that you are complete, that you've done that confidentiality agreement. And so then you know you've done it, but technically you should not be able to go forward without signing it. If you have any issues with that, again, let us know. We have had people that have had a few issues trying to get on, and SIA has helped. We did have one club chair that just went through heck trying to get on. I'm surprised she didn't quit on us, but she hung in there, and we realized, SIA realized they had put her email in wrong, and that's what the issue was. And so hopefully there won't be any more issues for her. I'm very thankful she stayed with us. So when you go down, you're going to see applicants to be reviewed. We don't get notified when new ones show up, so you're going to want to revisit this every so often. And if you click on the person's name, you'll see them right by the little pinky purple arrow. That will bring up their application. All right, so we're going to open up Eleanor's application so you can kind of see what will occur when you hit that. So next slide. So this is the eligibility form that you're going to see, and you're going to be able to cursor down through the application. And that's going to be on the left side of your screen. And the next thing you want to do is download that application. And at the top where that arrow is pointing, that says download. It's not real easy to see, but that's what it says. And you can download that application onto your computer. And then this way it can be sent or printed for judging in the future. All right. So next slide.
Kate, there's a quick question.
Yeah.
Are the applicants advised during the process that the Live Your Dream chairs have committed to confidentiality?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't believe, and everybody, excuse me, help me out, that's done this before. Gosh, in an application, I don't think I've seen that, but that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. Anybody got thoughts on that that's been through the application process? It's got to be stated somewhere. Just the HIPAA person in me thinks that confidentiality's got to be stated somewhere. Okay, I'm just writing this down because if I don't write it down right now, sad to say, it'll go right out of the brain. Okay, all right, I will check on that. Thank you. Great question. You guys do such fabulous questions, except the only downfall is you make me think, and I don't do that well. All righty, so next slide, please. So when you see that first page where you see the different applicants, you'll be able to go back by returning to summary. That's where all your applicants are going to be listed. And you're going to do the same thing as to downloading each one and have those down. Now you'll see the decision form that's here. That is something most likely you'll do later, especially if you get multiple applicants, because you're going to have to decide. But I'm not going to go into that part right now. I just want you to know that you can open an application, download that application, and then return to summary and look at your next application and continue that till you've seen all the ones that have come your way. All right, next slide. All right, well, I have to fess up, guys. I have to thank Governor Christie, because when last night's crew saw this slide, it was like a fourth done. I don't know where my brain went. I recently moved my clinic and life has been just crazy. So Governor Christie, thank you for filling that in. This is us. These are your Live Your Dream committee, your district reps. And you can get hold of any of us. You can always get hold of me. I am really trying to be really good and use my Seroptimus Northwest Region email. Now, if somebody wants to get hold of me and you want to, and a lot of you email me at work, which is fine, do both email addresses, because then I see it at work, but then I make sure that I'm doing what's necessary through the Live Your Dream email system, because that's where everything really should be. And we have a brand new email system at work, and so I'm trying not to clog it up with all my extra things I do outside of work. So again, reach out to us for any questions. There will be a much more in-depth PowerPoint presentation at the district meetings. And you guys can always, again, reach out to me or the district reps. So that's all I have. Anybody have questions, thoughts, concerns?
I'm thinking, hi there, everybody, this is Governor-elect Karen, that probably Kate will be able to answer questions in a upcoming newsletter article, perhaps. We can, all the answers to all the great questions we've had these 2 nights, so.
Well, that's a great idea, Governor-elect Karen. That was
Actually, I
very
believe it's
subtle.
Governor Christie's idea.
Thank you, Governor Christie. You guys know how to make sure I get things done.
We'll stop the cloud recording now, if that's okay.